Okay, so here's something I see all the time. Someone comes in, I tell them they need a root canal, they go back home, they look it up, and come back asking if we can just have the tooth pulled instead. And look, I get it. The reputation this procedure has is bad, like genuinely bad. But almost everything people believe about root canals are wrong. And avoiding one or just putting it off has consequences that most people don't realize until the tooth is already past the point of saving. So, I want to walk you through what this procedure actually is, what you actually experience, whether it actually hurts, and what happens if you just leave it. And by the way, my name is Jimmy, I'm a dentist, and let's get into it. So, your tooth has two parts: the crown, which is the white bit that you can see, and the root, which is the part that's sitting underneath the gum, buried in the jawbone. You never see it, it's just doing its job, holding everything or holding the tooth in place. And running through the middle of that root is a hollow space. And that space is literally called the root canal. And sitting inside it is a soft tissue, which is the pulp. And inside the pulp, there's nerves, blood vessels, and it's what kept the tooth alive while it was developing. Now, when that pulp gets infected, whether it's from a deep cavity, decay, a crack, a knock to the tooth, it cannot heal itself. Once it's infected, it's not going to recover on its own. And that's when I need to step in. And here's the thing I always have to clarify because it causes so much confusion. So I'm not removing the root. The root stays in place. It stays in your jaw. It keeps holding the tooth in place. Nothing changes there. What I'm doing is making a small opening on the top of the tooth, going in, removing the infected tissue from that hollow space, cleaning it, disinfecting it, and sealing it back up. The tooth stays, the infection is dealt with. I usually say to patients, we're basically treating the inside to save the outside. That's it. And the reason it matters that we keep the tooth rather than just pulling it is something most people genuinely haven't really thought through. And there are a few reasons I'd recommend a root canal when it's needed. For example, if there's a deep cavity that's causing the infection, that's the most common. Bacteria get through the layers of the tooth and eventually reach the pulp, or a crack or a fracture can expose it directly. Old trauma is also a big one that people miss. So, a knock on the front tooth years ago could have damaged the nerve without ever producing obvious symptoms. And sometimes there's already an abscess forming at the root tip before the patient even comes in. The common thread is that the pulp is beyond the point where it can recover. So, antibiotics, when needed, can sometimes keep the infection from spreading in the short term, but they don't fix what's happening inside the tooth. I need to go in and remove that tissue. And I recommend a root canal when the tooth is too damaged to settle on its own, but worth saving. The second part matters. So the tooth has to have enough structure left for it to be restored afterwards. But in most cases where I'm recommending this, the tooth can be saved, and saving it is almost always the better outcome because extraction isn't the end of the story. It, it's really the start of a new one. So, what do we do step by step? So, what actually happens on the day? And this is roughly how I approach it. It can vary depending on the tooth, the case, and who's treating you. And when I say I mean you and whoever's treating you. So, first, I take x rays. I need to see exactly what I'm working with, how many canals, how long the roots are, whether the infection has already reached the bone around the root tip, because that can change how we approach it. Then I give you local anesthetic. So, same injection as you'd get for filling. And here's the part people are always surprised by: you're usually awake the whole time, but the tooth and the surrounding gum are completely numb. Now, the goal of the anesthetic is to make the procedure as comfortable as possible. Most patients describe feeling pressure or vibration rather than pain. And if you do feel any sort of discomfort throughout, you tell me, I top it up with anesthetic. That happens all the time. It's no big deal. What you will feel is pressure, vibration, maybe an odd taste from the rinse I use to flush the canals. What I'm doing is working through these canals with very fine instruments, cleaning out of the infected tissue, shaping the canal walls, flushing everything clean. It's slow and careful work. A front tooth might have 1 or 2 canals, a back molar might have 3 or 4, and each one is narrow, curved, and needs to be thoroughly cleaned. That's why it takes the time it does. I'll usually place a rubber dam, a rubber sheet around the tooth. That's to keep it dry and isolated. If you never had one, it can feel a bit strange at first, but it's just there to make the work cleaner and more precise. And depending on the case, it might all be done in one visit or spread across two. If it's two, I'll put a temporary filling in between. The final step is filling and sealing the canals definitively. And then sometimes some teeth might need a crown. This is the part I see people skip sometimes, and it's a mistake. What I've done inside the canal deals with infection. The crown protects the tooth from the outside, from the cracking, from bacteria getting back in. One without the other leaves the job half done. Okay, and does it hurt? So, this is the question everyone actually wants answered. And the honest answer is that it's almost always far less painful than people have built it up to be. There's a large study I was looking at where they looked at pain levels in patients before root canal treatment, tracked them through it, and followed them afterwards. Pain was high going in because the tooth was infected. About a week after treatment, it had dropped substantially, which makes sense. I'm removing the source of infection. That's what's causing the pain. Now, is there soreness afterwards? Yes, often, especially in the first couple of days, and especially if the tooth was badly inflamed before we started. That's normal. Paracetamol or ibuprofen manages most of it if you can take it, and it usually settles within a few days. So, to be straightforward about it, you're numb during the procedure, you might be sore when the anesthetic wears off and the soreness goes away. The reputation root canals have is mostly from decades ago, before local anesthesia was as reliable as it is now. It's not what the experience is like today. And here's probably the most important thing about this. The pain people associate with root canals, the really bad pain, is almost always the infected tooth before they came in, not the procedure. I'm not doing the procedure to get rid of it. Leaving the tooth doesn't make that pain go away, it makes it worse, and that's what I need to cover next. So, what happens if you don't get it treated? Now, an infected pulp does not heal. If you leave it, the infection doesn't plateau, it just spreads. And here's what makes this particularly dangerous. At some point, a lot of people notice the pain reduces on its own, and they think that's a good sign. Most of the time, it isn't. So, what's happened is the nerve tissue inside the tooth has died. The tooth has gone quiet, but the infection is still there, now spreading into the bone and around the root tip with no pain left to warn you. And from that point, an abscess can develop, a pocket of pus, either at the root itself or at the gum. And when it gets to that stage, the pain that comes back can be significantly worse. The surrounding bone is being destroyed, and a tooth I could have saved months ago could be heading towards unrestorable. And in rare cases, and I don't really want to sensationalize this, but it does happen, the infection can spread beyond the tooth into the jaw, the floor of the mouth, the neck. It becomes a medical emergency. It's uncommon, but it is the natural endpoint of an untreated infection left long enough. The thing I want everyone watching this to understand is pain going away is not the same as the problem going away. A dead nerve can't send signals. A tooth can be actively infected with no symptoms at all. The window to save it is real, and most people miss it by waiting for pain that never comes back. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, consider subscribing. There's a lot more of these videos coming in the future. So, here are a few things that keep circulating about root canals that are worth going through. So, root canals remove the root. Thing is, they don't. As I mentioned earlier, the root stays in the jaw. I remove the tissue inside the canal, that hollow space that's running through the root. The root itself doesn't go anywhere. The other thing I commonly hear is it's always better to just pull the tooth. Now, thing is, pulling the tooth, yes, it avoids the root canal, but it also means that you no longer have the tooth. What follows is bone loss at the extraction site. Neighboring teeth start drifting over time, and if you ever want to restore that gap, an implant or a bridge or a denture, In most situations where I can still save the tooth, extraction is the worst long-term decision. It just feels simpler at the moment. Now, this is something I want to address properly because it still causes real harm. Root canals cause cancer or illness in other parts of the body. This comes from a theory that was proposed over 100 years ago, and it's been completely discredited by modern research. There's no credible evidence for it, none, but it still spreads online and it still stops people from getting treatment they genuinely need. And finally, one I commonly hear is you need one only if you're in serious pain. So some teeth that need this treatment barely hurt. Some don't hurt at all because the nerve is already gone. When I recommend a root canal, it's based on what I can see clinically and on the x-ray. Anyways, this is it for this video. Subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share your comments down